Dr. Tharoor's presence here with us. So, without taking too much of your time, we've had a small delay, and we apologize for that. We have Dr. Shashi Tharoor here with us, Salman Soulsji is with us, Mrs. Yeddy and Reddy is with us, and AIPC State Chairperson Anshul is also with us today. And this is the All India Professional Congress team that will be addressing the media. So I'll request Dr. Tharoor to take this session forward. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Priyanka. And again, let me add my voice of apology for the delay. We were at the NIAS at the Indian Institute of Science, and there was this amazing audience that simply wouldn't let us go. It was a wonderful reflection of the interest and enthusiasm of the academic community and young people in general. That in an auditorium with a maximum capacity of 350 or 400, there were over 750 people standing, sitting in the aisle, sitting on the floor, sitting on the stage, and it was just a lot of questions, a lot of comments. It was a very lively, constructive and positive discussion, but it also meant they kept us half an hour longer than we should have, knowing that you were waiting, so apologies. But here we are today. My colleague, Dr. Yeddy and Reddy, is the South Zone Coordinator for the All India Professionals Congress. Mr. Salman Soulsji is the North Zone Coordinator for the All India Professionals Congress. We also have a West Zone and the East Zone, who couldn't be here in one case because of a missed flight. But we just want to say that our presence is a reminder to the professionals of Karnataka, and particularly in Bangalore, that we are your kindred spirits. We want to have professionals' voices heard in our party and in our politics, and that's why we've come to add our voices to the campaign effort. We all arrived yesterday. I was campaigning in C.V. Ramanagar in the morning, in Mahadevapura in the afternoon, evening. We've had some other functions in between and around it. There is very clearly a positive spirit, and our message has been very simple. It is time, on the one hand, to reward the government of Karnataka for good performance. That is because it is unusual in this state for a chief minister to serve a full term of 5 years without any blemishes, any scandals, any challenges to his authority or his effectiveness, and to have delivered pretty much all the campaign promises that he made 5 years ago. What's very striking is that purely in terms of the track record of accomplishment, this is a government that did what it said it would do, and it's done it well and effectively. It's not resting on its laurels. It knows there's a lot more to be done, particularly in Bengaluru itself. The challenges of waste management, the challenges of urbanization are major challenges in all the cities of India, and Karnataka cities are no exception. But this is a government that is taking up the challenge and deserves the support of the public. Equally, however, this election is not just about returning this government or a particular hard-working MLA in each constituency to office. It is also an opportunity to send a message today. We have seen unleashed by the BJP in the last 4 years a politics of hatred and division in our country that is causing untold damage. I have spoken in the past of a wound to the soul of India, and that wound can only be healed if we are able to demonstrate to those who have promoted the politics of Gaurakshaks and mob lynching and vigilantism and intolerance, if we are able to make it very clear to them that the people of India do not support this kind of politics. Karnataka has the opportunity today to send a very clear message that says not only that we are happy with the government we have, but a message that says we do not want the politics of hatred that you have unleashed in other parts of the country to infect our state. The fact is that we have been hearing, unfortunately, a lot of unpleasant propaganda going as far as the Prime Minister of our country in order to justify seeking your votes. You've had the Prime Minister speaking in terms of this city, Bengaluru, as a garbage city. instead of a garden city, as a sin city, as a crime city. These are insults that the people of Bengaluru must not accept. No doubt, the garden days are not always present everywhere. Urbanization is a challenge. The population has grown dramatically. The pressures on roads, on sewage, on water supply have been immense. Some have been found wanting in some places. There are major tasks to be undertaken. They are being undertaken and they will continue with renewed determination. But instead of promoting the fair name of one of India's most glorious cities, a city that has attracted more investment than any other foreign investment than any other Indian city, the Prime Minister is insulting the city. And that must stop. We must understand the city and its people should be above the petty politics of our ruling party. Bengaluru and the people of this city and the people of Karnataka deserve better. They deserve the support of their national government, not the insults of their national government. I also want to say that we have pledged 1 lakh crores in our manifesto for the development of Bengaluru. We are not unconscious of where things could go better. It will be done. But the important thing to recognize is the extraordinary successes of the city do not warrant insult and calumny. It's also important, I think, to understand that we are looking at a government in the state of Karnataka that has been not just effective, but corruption-free. The BJP makes a big song and dance about corruption. It was their major campaign plank last time. But they, as you know, presided over a government whose own chief minister had to resign because of rather significantly substantiated charges of corruption. You're looking at a situation in which this government has been able to produce results across the board, whereas the BJP's candidates list, as Rahul Gandhi recently said, looks like a copy of the most wanted list in a neighborhood police station. This is not the kind of idealistic corruption-free politics that the BJP claims to stand for. It is a politics of cynicism, a politics of cronyism, a politics of corruption. Yeddy and Reddy and Bellari brothers and so on are phrases that are far too well known in the politics of Karnataka to need much repetition before you. At the same time, we have an economic situation across the country of grave misgovernance. The economy has been dealt 2 body blows. First, by the recklessly irresponsible demonetization conducted by our government. A bad idea, badly implemented, which cost lives, cost jobs, undermined our economy, hit the GDP growth by 2.2%. And if that was a bad idea, badly implemented, it was followed through by the botched delivery of GST, which was a good idea, badly implemented. Instead of creating one nation, one tax, a good and simple tax, as it was said, that would have unified the economy, the government has given us the most complicated indirect tax in the entire world, with 6 tax rates, 37 forms to fill every year if you're running a small business, an IT backbone that keeps crashing, and an incompetent system of tax administration, allied to the usual problems of inefficiency, malfeasance, and corruption. Into this mess, the state of Karnataka has actually been shining as a lodestar of good economic management, where the government in India, having promised 2 crore jobs a year, that should be 8 crore jobs in the last 4 years, has created a grand total of 18 lakh jobs. 18 lakhs instead of 8 crore, which is 800 lakhs. That's their ability to aim at a target and fulfill it. Whereas that's what the central government has done. The Karnataka government has created 15 lakh jobs in this state. That's the kind of track record I'm asking you to applaud and asking the people and voters of Karnataka to recognize in granting their blessing and their support. The fact is that jumlas We've seen, I'm sure, all of us who are willing or unwilling recipients of WhatsApp forwards will have seen that one in which Mr. Modi says he's going to put 15 lakhs into everybody's bank account. Cut. There is Mr. Amit Shah saying, it's just a Jumla. Everyone knows that. I know it, you know it. It's a Jumla. Well, I don't think the people of Karnataka want to be prey to Jumlas as the people of India were in 2014. We want proof of actual performance. The government of Karnataka has given it. If you want rhetoric, propaganda and fine speeches in brilliant Hindi, Mr. Modi will give it to you. But which will fill your bellies and your wallets and give you a decent life, that is for you to decide. You look at all the BJP government states and you look at the national picture, and if you ask voters, are you better off than you were 4 years ago? In no room do I see more than 1 or 2 hands go up. In most halls that I address, no hand goes up, because no one is better off. India is slipping on every significant index. This morning I discovered we have now slipped on the 80 Kearney index on FDI investment, which the government keeps boasting about. For the first time, we have dropped out of the top 10. So even foreign direct investment is not coming to India as the government used to boast for the first 4 years of its reign. We are facing, my dear friends, a serious crisis made worse by the petty politics of the government's economic management. Why was it that the government messed up the Rafale deal? Why did it pay more per aircraft than the Congress and the UPA government had signed? And why, after all that, did it refuse to bring what could have been a major job-generating manufacturing exercise to the Hindustan Aeronautics Limited in Bengaluru, where it could have generated perhaps 10,000 jobs to our young people of Karnataka? Instead, as you know, they've given it to a private company for what private interests only they can explain. They have done a disservice to a jewel in the crown of India's PSUs. They've done an insult to the hard-working young people of Karnataka who would have found in the Rafale manufacturing process an opportunity that is now being denied to them. They must be taught a lesson. The people of Bengaluru must say, you have taken jobs away from us and given it to others for your own purposes. We will not reward you with our votes. I do want to stress one last thing and then I'll take your questions. I've been talking mainly about Karnataka. I've been talking mainly about the specific issues and policies that I mentioned to you. But the fact is, there is also a larger issue at stake in this election. The truth is that Karnataka is the last opportunity before the spate of elections at the end of the year that prefigure the general election. This is an opportunity to continue the momentum that has been built up by the forces of freedom, the forces of progress in our country. Whereas there was a seemingly irresistible triumph of the Hindutva movement, with the BJP seemingly rolling up election after election. Even if they lost an election, they were forming a government in Goa and Manipur, Meghalaya. With 2 seats, they formed a government. Despite their doing all of that, the people of Gujarat, Mr. Modi's own state, first came of a major scare in December, when if merely 5,000 votes in 10 assembly constituencies had gone a different way, his party would have been out of power for the first time in 25 years. And then 3 by-elections in Rajasthan, 2 extremely important by-elections in Uttar Pradesh for seats vacated by the BJP Chief Minister and Deputy Chief Minister, and then by-elections in Madhya Pradesh. All of those sent an unambiguous signal to the BJP that their days of taking the voter of India for granted were over. That the voter of India was saying, this is enough. We want our freedoms. We do not want a government that tells us what we can eat, what we can wear, where we can go, who we can love, who we can marry, what language we should speak. That is not the India we want. And they sent a message back to the BJP government. You can promote that kind of India. We will not vote you to office. Karnataka today has a chance to send that message in a dramatic fashion. The Prime Minister is going around 22 constituencies in the state. Here is the chance to reply to him in an even better language than the Hindi he speaks, the language of the ballot box. Let us send a message, my dear friends in Karnataka. You've all seen, I mentioned these WhatsApp forwards, another one I saw, which I think many of you may have seen. It's in Kannada, but I don't understand it. It was that simple. Of a young lady or two shopping in a dress store, and a bunch of gundas burst and say, you cannot buy this dress because it has no sleeves. Or some young people at a restaurant ordering beef and being told, you cannot eat this by the same gundas. That is the kind of culture that sadly has been unleashed in many parts of North India, and there are people waiting to bring that culture to your doorstep in Karnataka. Do you want to see Karnataka becoming like that? Or do you want to preserve the freedoms that you have valued? Do you want to preserve the way of life that you all take for granted? Today, I had young women in my audience this morning asking exactly this question. Why is it that things we should be able to take for granted, how we dress, where we go on our own or with somebody else, why should that now be a question for debate and political contention? And she's right, it should not be. We should be able to take it for granted. For 70 years of independent India, we were able to take it for granted. But now, everything is under threat. People want to rule us, who want to dictate everything about how we will be, what we will become, how we will behave, how we will dress, what we will eat. That must be stopped. So I ask for a vote, not just for the Congress Party, not just for Chief Minister Siddaramaiah and his effective government, but I ask for a vote for the people of India, a vote that will send the message that freedom must prevail. Jai Hind, I'll take your questions.